Galactus survives the death of an entire universe and gets grouped with Celestials and Skyfather gods as one of the most powerful classes of beings in existence. That's usually treated as the ceiling of the Marvel Universe, but Doctor Doom found a way to briefly stand above that ceiling entirely. And to understand exactly how insane that is, you first need to understand the actual structure Galactus belongs to. Marvel's multiverse isn't something that's existed forever in its current form. It goes through complete cosmic cycles, one universe collapsing entirely and being replaced by the next, first cosmos, second, third, all the way up through a sixth and a seventh. The seventh cosmos is the multiverse most fans actually grew up reading, and it came to an end in 2015's Secret Wars, when a wave of incursions tore through it and destroyed it completely. Reed Richards helped rebuild what came after as the eighth cosmos, the one still running in the comics today. That's not just trivia. It's the key to understanding why Galactus doesn't play by the same rules as everyone else standing next to him. Before he was Galactus, he was Galan, a being who lived in the sixth cosmos, the universe that existed before this one entirely. When that universe finally died, Galan didn't die with it. He survived the transition and emerged into the newly formed seventh cosmos, completely transformed, reborn as Galactus. That makes him fundamentally different from every other cosmic being standing around him in the hierarchy. Celestials, Watchers, even the Skyfather gods like Odin and Zeus, they were all born inside this current cosmic cycle. Galactus wasn't. He's a leftover piece of the universe that came before, carried forward into ours. Whether the rest of the cosmos was ready for him or not, Marvel Database lays out the seventh cosmos hierarchy in 4 distinct tiers, and it's worth walking through the whole thing to see exactly where everyone lands at. The very top sits the Living Tribunal, the cosmic judge and arbitrator of the entire multiverse, holding authority over the cosmic order itself. Below him are the fundamental abstracts, eternity, infinity, death, and oblivion, who aren't just powerful characters wearing costumes, they represent existence itself. Eternity is the cosmos and time, infinity is space and possibility, death is exactly what it sounds like. Oblivion represents non-existence. Marvel material actually describes these 4 as the points of the cosmological compass. Below that sit the cosmic principles, Master Order, Lord Chaos, Mistress Love, and Sire Hate, personifications of the fundamental forces that shape everything beneath them. And then in the 4th tier, you get Galactus, the Celestials, Kronos, the Stranger, the Watchers, and Skyfather gods, like Odin and Zeus, all grouped together in the same broad cosmic class. That last part surprises a lot of people. Galactus and the Celestials technically sit in the exact same tier, which means the popular claim that Galactus simply outranks them across the board isn't quite accurate. But a tier in this hierarchy describes cosmic station and jurisdiction, not identical power levels between every single member. Being grouped together doesn't mean Galactus equals every individual Celestial, or that a single Watcher matches Odin in a straight fight. It just means they're all operating within the same broad level of cosmic authority. This is actually the more interesting argument. You don't need to say Galactus is above the Celestials. You can say he belongs to the exact same uppermost class as them, but his origin is completely different. The Celestials are a race that helped shape the development of life and the structure of the cosmos. Galactus is Galan, a survivor of the previous cosmic cycle who was transformed as the 6th cosmos died. That distinction is arguably far more interesting than any simple power ranking. Here's where it gets genuinely wild. During the transition from the 7th cosmos into the 8th, Galactus briefly stopped being the Devourer of Worlds entirely, and became something called the Lifebringer instead. Master Order and Lord Chaos, 2 beings who normally rank a full tier above him, tried forcing him back into his old destructive role, insisting the natural order had to be restored. They lost, furious. They took the fight straight to the Living Tribunal himself, demanding he intervene. The Tribunal's ruling was blunt. The old hierarchy simply didn't apply anymore, because an entirely new cosmos was actively being built, and the rules that governed the last one hadn't automatically carried over. Order and Chaos didn't accept that answer quietly. They went on to actually kill the Living Tribunal during that same period of flux, because for that brief window, even the multiverse's supreme judge wasn't guaranteed to outrank them anymore. That single detail changes everything about how this hierarchy actually works. It isn't a simple stat chart where character X has more power than character Y. It's about cosmic role and jurisdiction, and during moments of cosmic renewal, that entire structure can temporarily stop meaning anything at all. This is the part that actually matters. Galactus isn't frightening just because he's strong on some invisible power chart. He's part of the literal machinery that rebuilds the universe every single time it dies and starts over. He's been the Devourer, he's been the Lifebringer, he survived one entire cosmos collapsing and carried straight through into the next one, uninvited and unkillable in the process. And during moments of cosmic renewal, beings that normally rank comfortably above him can lose their authority over him entirely, because for a moment, the rules everyone else is bound by simply stop applying to him. Which brings us to Doctor Doom, because the exact same kind of cosmic collapse that turned Gilan into Galactus happened again during that 2015 Secret Wars event. The Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe crashed into each other through those incursions and destroyed the entire multiverse. Most heroes spent that event trying to survive it. Doom used it while everything was falling apart around him. Doom stole the power of the Beyonders, extra-dimensional beings so far outside the normal cosmic hierarchy that they don't even appear anywhere. On that 4-tier chart we just walked through, sitting above even the living tribunal himself. He used that stolen power to build an entirely new world out of the wreckage everyone else was still dying in. That new world was Battleworld, a patchwork planet stitched together from the remains of countless destroyed realities, and Doom ruled it for 8 straight years as God Emperor Doom. Functionally omnipotent within his own creation, he rewrote the memories of everyone living there so completely that nobody remembered a life before Battleworld existed. He took Reed Richards' place, married Sue Storm, and raised Franklin and Valeria as his own children. He turned Doctor Strange into his personal sheriff, loyal and content to enforce Doom's law. During that reign, absolutely nothing slowed him down. He casually killed a Phoenix Force-empowered Cyclops. He ripped Thanos' skeleton clean out of his body. He beat down an Infinity Gauntlet-wielding Black Panther without breaking a sweat. For 8 uninterrupted years, in direct combat, nothing on Battleworld could touch him. Here's the part that makes Doom's reign genuinely unsettling instead of just impressive. When Reed Richards finally confronts him at the end of the story, Doom doesn't lose that fight in any conventional sense. Molecule Man, the being who had been quietly channeling the Beyonders' stolen power into Doom the entire time, simply chooses to stop. He depowers Doom on purpose, specifically to make the final confrontation fair. Doom never controlled that power directly in the first place. He was borrowing it, and the moment his one ally decided the fight needed to be even, Doom's godhood evaporated instantly. Even then, stripped down to a mortal man, Doom doesn't get physically overpowered. Reed wins the argument, not the fight. Doom accuses Reed of secretly believing he could have ruled better with that same power, and when Reed admits that's true, Doom simply agrees and lets Molecule Man hand that power over willingly. The multiverse doesn't get saved because someone finally hit Doom hard enough. It gets saved because Doom, for one single moment, stops fighting and concedes a point about his own character. Stack that against everything we just laid out about Galactus and the 7th Cosmos hierarchy. Galactus earns his spot in that top tier by surviving the death of a universe and carrying forward into the next one completely on his own. No help required. Doom, for 8 years, operated with power borrowed from beings that exist above that entire hierarchy chart, above the living tribunal, above eternity and infinity and death itself, and in that state absolutely nothing in the Marvel Universe, not a Phoenix host, not Thanos, not a fully loaded Infinity Gauntlet, could put him down or even force him onto the back foot. The only reason his reign ever ended is that the person actually holding the power decided to let go of it on his behalf. That's not a defeat in any real sense. That's a ceasefire that happened to go Reed's way. Doom's real weakness was never strength. It was that Reed Richards apparently lives rent-free in his head even after literally becoming a god, and that psychological hook is the only lever anyone has ever actually found that works on him. So the strongest version of Doctor Doom isn't really a power level at all. It's an open question the Marvel Multiverse still hasn't fully answered, because nobody has ever actually beaten him while he was holding the power. They've only ever watched him choose to put it down.